Good day, Ms. Rosel Menezes. I am Eliana Gampat for Lecture News. So to kick off our interview for today, I'll just ask you a quite simple question to start. So as you know, from 1975 to 2025, we are officially celebrating 50 years of having girls and women at Queen's College and being co-educational. So over that course, what have you experienced in terms of the co-educational transition, preparing these girls for the work environment?
Well, at our time, it was more academic. The emphasis was more on the academics, and I'm glad to see that they have, evolved into all the different areas. There's the vocational and that kind of thing. In that time, we didn't have much of that. It was just academics. I think that it has really helped. It will and it has helped the students to be ready for that workplace environment out there. They've learned more than just books.
And that's wonderful. So over the years that you would have spent at the college, what would you consider a non-academic skill that you would have obtained over being in the college and interacting and having relationships with different people?
One of the first things that I really learned here was to be social. I learned to mix with other people because I was a pretty shy person when I came here. So I learned to mix with people of all walks of society, basically. And other than the academic stuff, I loved music, and I really got my foot in the music world, basically. While I was here, I learned to play musical instruments and that kind of thing. It was really a good thing for me, and that has stuck with me because that's basically one of my focuses now, even at this age. I just love music.
So, I mean, with the coming in of female students, it was an end of an era, an all-male era, and entering into such a transition as this, there were likely things that shifted. And so, what visually did you see in terms of the dynamic of the school shifting? And in terms of dynamic, I mean in sports, in clubs, in the student body itself. What did you see shift there?
Well, I came from primary level and from all my primary school and early schooling with the co-ed system. But after 1 year at Bishop's High School, when I was just surrounded by girls, to come back into that co-ed, it took a little bit of doing. So in those days, boys were the scum of the earth, basically, for us girls. We wanted nothing much to do with them at that time. But after a while, we were able to integrate with them, got accustomed to them, and as you would say, their nonsense, because they were full of it at that time. They tried their best to intimidate us as best they could, but we didn't allow ourselves to be intimidated for too long. After a while, it just became a norm. I mean, boys and girls have to grow together, so we got accustomed to it after a while, and it was okay. It's quite okay.
There's a saying that those boys were boys.
Oh my, they were boys, I can promise you.
I mean, when you transitioned, you were in this completely new environment. It wasn't what you were accustomed to because it was from all girls to a mix.
Yeah.
So when you started to work with these girls, were there any misconceptions, I'd like to say, that these boys had that you can see from them? And if there were any, how did they?
Well, I think one of the misconceptions that the boys had is that we were walkovers, that they could do us what they wanted to do, when they wanted to do, and how they wanted to do. But we, in short order, made them realize that we were human beings in our own right, and they couldn't get over us. No, they couldn't. After the initial fear of meeting with, especially the older boys, tended, because in those days, the prefects and those boys in the sixth form, fifth form, they wielded a lot of power. And because we were little girls, I was 11 years old at the time, we were little girls. So we had a kind of fear for the bigger boys. But, after a while, they realized they couldn't get over us. Yes.
And so, I mean, over the course of these 50 years, what would you advise young girls who are now coming into the college on making their mark, on leaving their imprint to continue to have their message and what they would have done for the college leave on these walls?
One of the first things I would tell any girl, whether it be at QC or anywhere, is to focus. Focus on the fact that they're preparing for adulthood. Don't allow the what must I say, the gender aspect of things to intimidate you. You are a girl, you cannot help being a girl, but you must be a girl that stands at the top. I might be a bit biased because I was once a girl myself, but as girls, I believe in girls being independent. They must not be waiting for people to help them to do things. They must be able to stand on their own and do what they have to do. And I see a lot of it very evident now. The girls are not allowing themselves to be, as in the days when I was a child, a girl was prepared to run a home and prepared to be a good housewife and a good mother. Yes, all of that is well and good, but you must be able to stand on your own in the secular world. You must be able to stand on your own in the world of work. And I mean, you would know that a lot of our young women are standing out. Very outstanding results I've seen, and even in the world of work, they're standing out. So I will encourage any young woman to put their heads to the wheel, put their hands to the wheel, whatever part of the body they have to put it. And make sure that you stand up and people know you for who you are.